Hey. Hey. Hey.
Woo, woo. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. Guess who's back?
Back again.
I have a full house here tonight, so if you see any things walking around, if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, it's my kiddos are home, my dog's here, my husband's here, so don't mind them. I'm just gonna ignore them, but good luck to those that are watching.
You called your children things. You said, I have a couple things.
Oh my God. Man, if you're watching on video, you just had a treat.
The show has just begun, actually.
A treat you just saw.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome back to the Sispatch with
Bevin
and Jasmine.
Can I give a special shout out?
Yeah.
Special shout out to It's Kuya Joey on Twitch. He every Friday listens to our podcast live on his stream, and all the people's listen to it. I know it's kind of embarrassing, but also it's very sweet of him to do that.
Terrifying. So shout out to Joey.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
I'm like having issues trying to get my mic where I want it to be. It was like falling earlier. I've got to redo it later, but it's okay. It's fine. We're here, and that's
so
all
if
that
you're
really
listening
matters.
on Joey's stream, make sure you're following us on Spotify or YouTube, because you're not giving us the listen. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So the stats aren't actually coming through.
The stats are, we actually have millions of viewers. Just kidding. It really isn't a big deal. But thanks, Joey, and thanks for those that are listening.
Yes. It's beginning of season 2, right? We're like, what, 3 episodes in?
Yeah, I think around 3 episodes in.
How you feeling?
No, I feel good. I think it's like we just need to have more like stuff. That's all. Like topics. But it is what it is, highs and lows. Yeah.
I actually have a coworker still that is like, hey, I know season 2 is out. And I'm just like, oh.
Mm-hmm. I know mom and dad keep me accountable. They're like, when are you recording? I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
Your whole chat keeps you accountable, to be quite honest.
No, they're like, did you record tonight? I'm like, well, no, it didn't happen, but maybe tonight. Yeah. No, it's good though. It's good. I really enjoyed our last episode about nerding out. So that was fun.
You know what? I really enjoyed it too. I know you were the one that sort of put that one together, and I appreciated you doing that. So shout out to you for putting that one together.
Thanks. Shout out to Bevin.
Oh my gosh. Well, right now we are recording later in the evening than we usually do. It is currently like almost 9 o'clock. And as
he's over there slamming cereal around like boom.
Oh my gosh, cereal sounds so good. Cereal.
Look at he's over there like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. he just got a look from the husband though.
Oof. Interesting.
So. Okay, sorry. I keep going off topic. I just was distracted.
No, you're okay. It's
and then do you hear my other kids? Do you hear my other kids in the bathroom? They're brushing their teeth.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, before we get into all the good stuff, I was talking to my best friend earlier this week, and we were talking about
shout out Tiff.
Sup Toff.
Oh, sorry. Did I dox her? She's like, I would not like to be known as that. Please stop.
We were talking about Barney, and we were it had come up in our conversation, and there was a song that I was like, do you remember the song? When I'm brushing my teeth and having so much fun
and never let the water run. Oh no, I never let the water run. Thomas and I were just singing another song by them.
You were?
Little bunny foo foo, I don't want to see you.
Is that Barney?
Picking on the field mice,
bopping them on
the head.
Yeah.
You messed me up with that, but it's
Down
fine.
came the something fairy, and she said.
She said. Anyways, let's not get started because I had a whole decade of Barney. I think
Barney was
half decade of Barney was my thing.
Barney was all that really kept us sane when
we had all the VHSs, guys.
We
had a whole drawer of VHS.
Yep.
We didn't have cable. We had Barney VHSs and Mary Kate and Ashley.
Arguably
VHSs.
more valuable now.
Yeah, I know. Somebody asked me, one of my friends asked me about it because she knows I was a Mary Kate and Ashley fan. She's like, do you have the DVDs for, what was that one? It was like when they were teenagers. Do you remember the show?
So Little Time.
So Little Time. She's like, do you have the DVDs? I was like, we did. I don't think we have them anymore. And I asked mom, she's like, no, I got rid of them. And I was like, oh, bummer. Yeah, it's very hard to come across.
On repeat because we didn't have cable.
They were so good. We didn't have cable, and we had to wait till they were released on DVD. It's not like Netflix where it releases. We got to wait for like a year or two after it's released to like.
I don't remember much.
Watch them on DVD.
I don't remember much.
They were good.
There was like that someone got
underrated.
Like,
what is it? It's not underrated. What's the word?
Underrated.
Not underrated. Oh,
yeah.
It is. Maybe it just sounds funny.
It's not overrated. It's underrated.
It's not over. Yeah, it's underrated. I feel like there's a better word for that, but it's fine. Let's keep it moving.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit ironic because
isn't it ironic?
Is that a Taylor Swift reference?
No, but it is a song. I think it's the Jewels or something like that. I don't
even know. I feel like I haven't been listening to a lot of like
my English teacher made me. No, it's not current. I was like a freshman in high school, and my English teacher made us listen to that song and like list out all the ironies that she was singing about in the song, and I hated that song.
She must have been a fan. She must have been a fan.
Probably was.
If you were a teacher, you'd be telling your kids to like list the poetry.
Freshman English teacher, Taylor Swift, list all the metaphors. Did you hear that sound? That was my husband with a little. Oh my god. Okay, I need to not look there.
Isn't it ironic? No, I honestly think it's a little bit silly because your house is a little bit hectic right now, and we're kind of in a silly mood. And of course, it would be like the one time where I have an actual like a serious topic.
Ooh, okay. Well, let's see how it goes.
It's sort of fun though. I do think like there's things that you
okay, wait. She said it's serious, but it's sort of fun. I'm so curious. I'm going in this blind, guys, so I don't know what's going to happen.
That's like saying like, I love a good murder documentary.
I was going to say. Actually, there is one documentary. Should we get into that? There's one documentary I want to watch.
You'll have to send it to me, and then maybe we can.
It's about the prison guard. The lady prison guard.
Is that the old lady?
Yeah, she's kind of. Well, she's not like old, but she's like older. Yeah.
There was an old show about that. I think
it was a couple years ago that it happened.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix. It's trending right now.
Okay, well, we'll have to send it to me and we'll watch it, or I'll watch
that one, that show, and Nobody Wants This. That show, I'm watching that. I'm in like episode 3. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Somebody said it was like, yeah, Nobody Wants This. Everybody's like, it's so good. It's like a rom-com. They told me it's like New Girl, but it's not like New Girl. I don't know where they got that from. It's nothing like New Girl. You have
to send me like a watch list or something.
It's on. They're both like top 2 on Netflix right now. Anyways, sorry, not a promo, not sponsored. Netflix, if you want to sponsor us,
with all 4 listeners,
if you want to give me a free subscription, I'm all for it.
I know. Can you bring password sharing back? Thanks. That'd be great.
I know. God. Ugh. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
Rip. No. Okay. So today's topic is one that is a little bit more serious when you think about it. However, I do have some pretty fun questions and like silly questions in here as well. So we're talking about emotions today. That was kind of perfect timing you did. That's so funny.
Emotions. That's what I call in my Tita voice, the emotes on Twitch. I say, look at those emotions.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're talking about emotions. I must have been in a mood when I like sing a Destiny's Child. Yep. Caught up in sorrow. Oh, you're just gonna in a song.
No, that's it. She was so.
I love that song. Okay, wait. On a side note, I remember Grandma had a really big fascination with Destiny's Child after they were on Oprah.
She did. They just look like some good girls. They're just some good girls.
That was when I first
They're
was
so
able
talented.
to listen to them. Yep. I was first. I think Mom and Dad got me like #1 hits CD, and I listened to it when Dad was in the gym. And Emotions was one of the songs on there. So today we were talking about emotions.
Emotions. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Oh, the boys are going to go crazy if they hear you say that.
Yeah, I know. Lincoln just repeated it right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, do you consider yourself, in general, more of an emotional person or like an indifferent or like emotionless person?
I feel like I'm emotional, but I'm stoic at the same time, where like people won't really know my emotions unless like I really let my shield down. But for the most part, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Thomas, do you think I'm an emotional person? Come here, Thomas.
Special guest.
Let's get a third person in here. 1 second. He's
third
coming.
Party.
Yes.
That's all she wrote, everyone.
He's
Jasmine.
He said, so are you. I mean, aren't we all emotional at a certain point? I don't know. What do you think?
I think so.
Jasmine, look. He said, Jasmine, look.
Who said? He said,
Lincoln.
Jasmine, look.
Yes.
Oh.
It's a lightening up thing. Okay, anyways.
That.
Let's get each other's take. Should we get each other's take? Do I think you're emotional, and if you think I'm emotional?
Okay.
You want to do that
I
real
like
quick?
that. I'll answer for you first.
Because I don't know. Yes, you are very emotional, and you wear your emotions on your sleeves.
I do.
And probably to like a detriment, where like you feel your emotions first and then you think about them and you're like, actually, I probably don't need to be this emotional about it.
Yeah,
that's how you are.
You know what? That's funny that you say that. I think it's funny because if I were to answer for myself, like I'm like, heck yeah, I'm emotional. Like I cry for everything. Like things make me mad all the time. Like I slam doors. This is what I do. I stomp my feet. Like but
growl.
Then you're so right. I growl?
You used to growl at Dad when you were mad, like a tiger. He used to get so mad at you. He used to say, stop growling at me.
Not very good for my vote. I was a cat at the time.
He used to growl. Oh, her furry stage. That's right. She was in her furry stage.
It's like I was an animal. No, but I genuinely do think now, like I feel it first, and then like I get over it, and I'm just like, if there's an emotion, it's like I'm just like ugh, and like kind of annoyed with it, or whatever situation it is. I think it's because I process different than everyone else. I think I process quicker, so like I let myself feel the emotions first, and then when I process it, like the actual emotion, then I get over it. And I'm like, then I become indifferent. Like I could care less.
For you, you're the kind of person. Oh my god, you're the kind of person that always says, "I'm just done. I'm done." But you're not done.
No, I'm never done.
That's the kind of person she is.
I'm never
it's just,
done.
I'm done. I'm just done. I'm like, you're not done.
I'm so done. Except when I...
but yeah, also... exactly. Maybe that's a youngest sibling thing too. I don't know. Okay, so what is your take for me then?
Honestly, like when you asked Thomas, I was like thinking that he and I were going to say the same thing. But I never, as maybe this is also the younger sibling looking up to the older sibling, but like I never saw you as emotional. And when you cried, it was usually over Thomas. Like when my mom and dad would be like, time to hang up. And you're like, I don't want to. If there was any emotion that I would associate you with, it's probably, especially when we were younger, it's probably like annoyance or anger, just because I was the cause of those emotions. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty. I don't feel like people think like, oh, if like I go tell Bevin that she's gonna like burst out into tears or something, you know? Like usually people come to me for like reasonable thoughts first. But for me, like if I'm sad or something, I may feel sad in the moment, but I'll like try to keep it together. And then like when everybody's gone or like I'm by myself, then I'll like sit and like then I'll feel my emotions like in the safety of like like my own space.
Do you
So
cry?
maybe like rarely.
I cry a lot.
You know what's funny though is what public speaking, I cry when I'm nervous. So like whenever I do public speaking, I just start getting teary-eyed real easily.
I think
even if I'm like
actually,
laughing at something.
For you, it's like you don't cry, you're or emotional in that way, where like you're easily like crying all the time. But I think like the moment, no matter what it is, like it could be one thing or another, but no matter what it is, once you like push
once
yourself
it's triggered,
barely off the edge, like once you cry, like you're crying. There's no like pretty tears. It's like you're just gonna cry. Like
I have a funny story. But maybe we'll wait. About feeling emotions. I don't know if we're gonna get into like funny things later.
I mean, I have a whole thing. Maybe you can wait, and then if it sparks your brain again, you can.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Do you have? I guess that we were talking about the things that push you over the edge, but do you have any emotional triggers or things that affect you more than others?
I know that like whenever it has something to do with like children,
I was just about to say.
It like really like my heart just like hurts. So like there was a time when Benji was like 2 or something, and I read a story about another little boy that was around his age. It wasn't like a good story, obviously. I was just like a wreck because I was like, that could be my son, or like, you know, like I'm able. I think that is probably one of my biggest things is empathy for me. Like I feel I can put myself in other people's shoes like pretty easily, where some people like they can't relate kind of thing. Where like me, like I can relate. But it's always like at a surface level too. Like I don't stress myself out. I just can like feel how they're feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have a good boundary as far as like, I don't know. So that anything to do with kids, grandma, anything to do with grandma makes me emotional.
I can't.
Like let's not start.
I remember like when she was still alive, like
life you have.
It's not good. I avoid that. I avoid that song like the plague.
Joss is laughing.
I avoid it, but then like I actually led it for worship one time, and I was like, I'm fine. Like I really am fine. And then I went home and cried, and I was like,
and I will sing.
I become country.
Yeah, we become country.
All my life you have been
Jer knows the
faithful. Yeah, but with anything that has to do with grandma, I'm like, even when I drive home now or here from home, when we pass like the cemetery, like I say bye.
Yeah, like but it's funny like because like it makes me emotional, but I think more so now that we're like further away from that time. It's more like the reminiscing, like it's more laughter and like joyous than like grief. But be like when it was fresh, or like if I'm in a place where we're sharing like sentimental things, and if somebody else starts crying about her, I probably will start crying.
Yeah, it's game over. I feel like in regards to like our grandmother, like we were the youngest ones on our dad's side, and so like, and we lived with her, but I feel like everyone also lived with her at some point, all of our cousins
at some point in their life.
We all have that same like almost attachment, but I think like
it was like just fresher for us.
Yeah, like, but like, because I think back to like still the lived funeral with her. And like when our cousins were crying, and then like we were like the silent criers, but we had like louder criers in the the family. You know what I mean? But I was just like, I don't know, silently crying the whole time. I was like, I cry for everything though.
I didn't really cry like okay, maybe this is what it is. I cry when other people start crying, like, and it's so dumb too, because for some reason people like find my face like a safe face, so they look at me when they start crying, and then that's what makes me cry. I'm like, can you look somewhere else, please? Like, I don't want to cry.
You're like, it's contagious. Don't do it.
Yeah, it is contagious. Yep.
I see a child another thing standing on a chair.
Oh, don't look at him. Another thing is when I feel like crying, It's like my body refuses to cry and it sneezes instead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It does. So if I'm sneezing, it's because I want to cry.
I feel
like if I start.
I feel like if I'm trying to not cry, I yawn.
Huh.
Like
bodies. Science.
I think it's weird because I try to question myself. I'm like, am I crying or am I yawning? Sort of thing. You know, when you yawn, your eyes get all teary and whatnot. But like, I'll try to hold it in, and it just sounds like this.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird because there's it's talking about crying, okay? And emotions. Are you in the movie theater or in a book somebody that cries for that kind of stuff? Like for books and for movies that it can bring you to tears?
It depends. I think maybe books more than movies because I feel more invested when I'm reading a book, I think. Like when we were talking in our first episode ever, you talked about like Queen Charlotte, and if you don't want any spoilers, then skip ahead like 5 minutes. But like without saying anything, I didn't cry when I watched that one specific episode at all. Like I felt sad, and I was like, oh, that like I think if I told myself to cry, I probably could have. But like I think I was invested in the story more than I was in the people. Does that make sense?
That's funny because for some reason I always thought that you were a crier when it came to like movies.
Maybe I was at one point, but like I couldn't tell you the last time that I was like crying. Maybe like
there's some people that are like they have the tissue box ready at certain movies. Maybe that's just not us. Because I'll say I very, 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 very rarely will cry for a movie, show, or a book. However, before I had kids, I never cried for those things. After I had kids, I am more emotional when it comes to like the Queen Charlotte scene or like certain like it's funny too. It's usually like very like sentimental, like the like feeling love towards another character. That's when I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Like that's when I'll get like teary eyed. It's not the sad stuff.
Yeah.
Or
no, I agree with
I take that back.
with you.
Young Sheldon made me cry.
I haven't watched Young Sheldon. I don't want to because I feel like okay, here's maybe the difference. I have a hard time allowing myself get invested into characters and their relationships and their dynamics or their storylines. I think because if I do, then I know that like one, it's
you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, it's like
and it's gonna be over.
Yeah, it's gonna end, and I'm gonna be like, well, now what do I do? And I'm gonna be sad because of it, or it will basically take over my entire life for that time,
Yeah.
Unless it's something that I can connect with in my real life, or like it connects in that way.
It's love, the feeling of love or loss. Loss.
Yeah,
that's
but that's
usually.
why
but I never been into like sappy romance, like Notebook. Not interested at all. I've seen a few scenes. Didn't feel anything.
Girl, and maybe I'll cry like happy tears, but like
okay. What about Walk to Remember? Did you cry for that?
I feel like I
feel like you were.
Just
like she's in love.
Yeah, but I mean, I think maybe now as an adult, and I know that I have cried at that movie, but like when
I feel like I'm tearing up just thinking about it right now.
Yeah, like.
But I didn't used to.
As an adult, you know what it is? It's like the beauty of like the cinematography or like the movie and the way that they tell the story. Like it just and then they put maybe it's a music thing because it's like I'm fine when he's talking. He's just like blah 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 blah. No, that's not the one.
Down.
That's not the one she sings.
At the end? What is the one at the end? Remember.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The music, it's music. Yeah. However, the one book that made me cry was Crescent City. I cried for that book. I never cry for books, never cry. Crescent City made me feel things, and I won't forgive it.
I won't forgive it. But no, I don't necessarily cry all the time, but if I do, especially in movies or TV shows, I feel like it has to be like a perfect mixture of things, like the emotional attachment to the character or storyline, and
soundtrack.
the soundtrack that like kind
the
of
soundtrack. I'm even thinking of
me.
a scene of Game of Thrones, like a battle scene. It was just shot beautifully. The soundtrack was beautiful. Was not like a beautiful scene, like a beautiful thing happening, but like that makes me emotional. It's the artistry of it all.
Maybe that's the best way to describe it. Like the artistry that's put into that stuff makes
creating it. Yeah.
I mean,
Star Wars, man.
Job.
Yeah.
It does its job and makes you feel for whatever
a certain way.
But,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, that was a tangent.
We love Meowzack. Well, in regards to emotions,
taken me over. Sorry. I can't.
This whole episode is just gonna
be every time you say it.
Is there something that you've learned about yourself in regards to your emotions, like over time?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess I could tell my story eventually. So over time, like I feel like I said, after I've had kids, I've been more emotional. I'm also the kind of person that will like hold on to like anxiety, like what stresses me out. I'll like hold on to it because I'm like, I don't want to blow it out of proportion or whatever. Like, and I'll like process it and like internalize it. And then like one day Thomas is gonna like look at me and be like, what's wrong? And then it just like all comes out. Like he's my safe person. So it just usually he gets the brunt end of all of my emotions because I really don't show like the wide spectrum of emotions to anyone else. Like I'll be silly and goofy and funny with everybody, but he gets like the whole like everything. So that brings me to my story about when we started eating healthier and we were working out and we were on a little bit of a deficit. So we were retraining our bodies to eat at a caloric level that is correct for our bodies instead of like overeating like most humans do in America. Anyways, we were lowering our calories. I was tired, hungry, and my brain was not functioning very well. So we were measuring out our food, meal prepping, measuring it out so we can put it into the little app that we were using. And it was like ground turkey or hamburger or taco meat or something, like something stupid. And I was like, we have the little scale, and like the way it works is like you can press it for like the different measurements, like ounces, grams, whatever. And but you have to like reset it. You have to put the plate on it and then reset it and then add your stuff on top so it doesn't weigh the plate, whatever. And I was just like so over it. I like wanted to eat junk food. I knew I wasn't going to eat junk food. So I was like irritated already about that. And then Thomas comes over and he's like, "Are you going to weigh your food?" Like he just was wanting to know if I was going to weigh my food or whatever. And I was like, "I'm trying." And he's like, "Okay, well, like, just do it. You're overthinking it." And I was like, "I'm trying." I don't even remember. He was just like trying to encourage me. He's like, "Just calm down. Like, just, it's not a big deal. Just weigh your food." And I lost my mind. It started like, I don't know if I was crying. Was I crying right away, Thomas? He says I was crying already. I just remember I like threw my plate down and like stormed off and went into the room and I slammed the door as hard as I could. I'm not a door slammer, guys. I'm not like that at all. I'm not like that at all. And I just started like sobbing, like like ugly crying, you know, over stupid food, like weighing my food. And Thomas told me afterwards, the kids were all here and he was just like, "Mom's just having a moment." And Lincoln is like, "Can I go see mommy?" So he's like, "Yeah, go see her." So yeah. So what I've learned about my emotions, I need to be patient with myself. Don't hold it all in because it will come out like that if I do. Poor Thomas has to deal with the brunt end of it when it does come out. I think I've done a better job of communicating with him like when things are bothering me, because for the longest time like I wouldn't ever tell him like if something was bothering me, I'm like, I don't want to make a big deal. So I just like wouldn't say it. I'd be like, no, nothing's bothering me, even if it was. But now I do a better job of like communicating that to him so we can like nip it in the bud and like move forward and just have that communication. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I've learned. What about you? Over time.
I mean, over time, I still would say that I'm pretty much the same in my emotions, and that like I unfortunately feel like I can be a loose cannon at times. I do think that I've grown and learned that like when it comes to my emotions, I have to give myself time and space to feel those emotions. Maybe similar to you, like maybe I'll feel it and cry, and then like I'll like scarf it down and hold it in after, because I think I hold on to things a little bit longer than you do, maybe because I feel them so intensely. Like I can feel them, and then I'll put it in my pocket, and then later still feel them, sort of thing. But I think I've learned that like I have to allow myself to give time and space to feel those emotions, but also to process them. And because I act so quickly when I'm emotional, in any emotion, like it's hard to really think about what I'm doing or what's happening or the situation. So like I have to allow myself to think about it instead of just feel it, if that makes sense. But I think I've also just, growing up and going through life changes, meeting friends, losing friends, past relationships, like maybe I've told myself that I'm not allowed to feel certain things. But again, with time, like I've told myself like it's okay to feel how I'm feeling, like, and I will always say that to other people too when I'm speaking to them, if they're feeling emotional, like I want to say like it's okay to feel how you're feeling. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't feel that way because it's the way you feel. And I feel like a lot of times people will think, no matter who they're talking to, that they're like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, or like it's wrong of me to feel this way. And I'm like, well, even if someone says it's wrong, you're still feeling it. So like allow yourself to feel it, and then you can work through it or work with someone through it even better than just being like almost in an argument with yourself, like I feel it but I shouldn't, I feel it but I shouldn't, which is I feel like what I used to do a lot, and that would end in a lot of like slam doors and heavy feet, because I'm like, I know I'm overreacting and I don't want to overreact, but I can't help but do it, so I'm just gonna get mad and continue to feel that way and become something that it shouldn't be.
Y'all, she overreacts all the time, especially when she was younger. Not so much now. Every so often we'll get the okay bye phone call. But
that's me.
When she was younger,
not trying to blow up.
When she was younger, y'all, it was. I just remember you would stomp off or whatever. I mean, Dad would just look at each other like,
yeah. I was an angsty teenager. What can I say?
Yeah.
But what's ironic? Isn't it ironic? I think that like when in terms of our parents also, like we get the best and worst of our processes from them also, because we grow up with them. So like we always joke that like, me and Dad, love you Dad, we're kind of the same in the okay bye sort of thing. So if he's frustrated, he's just gonna nip it in the butt and be like, I'm done, sort of thing. And then
I don't think so. I think Mom's more like that than Dad.
You think?
Yeah, I think Dad, like, at least when they're okay, this is hey Mom, hey Dad, you're listening to this.
Hi.
When they're calling me for like tech support, Dad will always be like, like if they don't get it, they could be like, I don't understand it. Can you just or like just show me when you get here. Like it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Like we'll figure it out when we figure it out.
Why?
And with Mom, it's just like never mind.
Wait. This is so confusing because I feel like we get the opposite. I feel like mom is more like, it's okay, I'll just figure it out later, or I'll talk to your sister if you can't figure it out. And then
she calls me, and then I get the never mind.
and dad's the one that's like, like short with me sometimes, but it's also probably because I'm short with him first.
You know what it is? We're probably very much we probably speak each other like you speak like how mom does, and I speak like how dad does. So that's like just how we just pair off. Like that's. However, dad does know how to drive me bonkers sometimes. I was just telling. I think I was telling Thomas about it. That's the worst part. Is he'll come up like if he knows we're irritated or like focusing on something and we don't want to be like disrupted. I hate it. I hate it when he does this. He does it to me all the time. Grandma used to do it too. He'll come up to me and just like flick me in the head like randomly. And I'm like,
and
then he runs and then he like walks away like.
I never got it from grandma. Never got it from dad. Never happened to me. Never been flicked
flick
in the head. No.
They flicked me all the time.
No.
It's just like they knew. Maybe it's because they knew like I was pretty like even keeled, but you touch me when I'm focused and I get so mad.
Yeah.
Dad does it to me every time, or he'll like I'll be like sitting down, he'll like shove me a little bit, like push me.
No, I feel it's the opposite. Like with dad, like he knows that if he's trying to push my buttons like for a laugh, like he knows that like it's the sort of faces.
We both do that to you. And me and dad always do. Me and dad always do that to you.
Like the
okay, Bevin.
Yeah. It's so annoying.
And Thomas has picked up on doing that to you too.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what is the point? Okay, next time you make me angry, I'm gonna flick you in your forehead.
That will irritate me. The flicks, man. Don't flick me. It's so irritating. And Thomas does it to me too. Every so often, if I'm like focusing or reading on something. Oh no, what Thomas does is I have my phone, like I'm looking at something, like working or something. He'll come up and like smack it. No, it won't hit me. He just like smacks it, so it's like, so it's little like annoying. Take me out of my focus. That's what. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah.
You want to annoy Bevin? Take me out of my focus, or like, if I'm in the back, doing like the projector, and somebody's like, excuse me. Yes. 5 minutes before we start.
Oh my gosh. No, I feel like I can get that way too. I feel like I can get that way too about different things. Like if I'm working and like there's times where I have my headphones in at work and I'm like hunkered down. I literally have a playlist called Hunkered Down and Work sort of thing. And so like I'm in the zone, I'm getting so much done. And it literally takes the smallest thing for someone to do, well, like stand behind me or to open my drawer or to sit on my table or to put their hands on my little desk thing. And I'm just like, I'm going to throw a fit. Please walk away. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I can
I
get
don't like
that.
my focus being broke either.
Who does though? You know, who does?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a multitasker, so that's
neither.
something that I struggle with.
You know what? Brandon makes fun of me because like I feel like I'm so bad at multitasking to the point where like I can't walk and drink water at the same time.
I feel similar. I could. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it.
I would prefer to
just sloshing around everywhere.
No, I agree. And he roasts me that he says like I'm a bad multitasker, but I do think that like at times I can multitask okay, but it has to be very specific or like I have to be in the mindset to multitask. Otherwise, it's hard.
My Twitch stream knows I'm a very horrible multitasker, and when like I start getting emails and messages about like 3 different tasks at once, it just starts spiraling really fast, and it just is like I'm just not going to do anything because I don't know which one to do.
Oh my gosh. Literally today at work, I was sitting there and I was like, I make a list every single day in like 3 different places, on paper, in Notion, and then I have a task
That's
dashboard,
too much.
Right?
That's too much.
But the dashboard is what my manager uses and what my assistant uses. So like it's kind of the hub for everything. But in order to organize my brain and sometimes to organize what is in priority, like I'll have to write it down, and like it's just so frustrating because I was like knocking stuff off my list and then more tasks would come up, and I'm like, I know it's just either to keep me busy or like it's urgent stuff that actually has to happen, but I'm like, but can you not?
Yeah, recently, if it's like my one client sending me stuff and she's like sending me a bunch of stuff. So she was recently, I think I can say this. She was recently diagnosed with ADD, and she acknowledges this, and she's like, you have like a front row experience to this. But usually when she like sends me one task, then like 10 more will follow in like random order and with like miscellaneous notes with each task. So usually I've learned that when that happens with that client and with Nicole too, even when because she worked very similar to that, I would make sure that I ask them, okay, these are the tasks that I have that you've sent me. Can you prioritize them for me?
Yeah.
And then I would go from there. So
I was gonna ask my boss today to make sure that to put those in priority for me as well, my tasks. Then she left, and I was like, okay, never mind.
Oop. I'm just gonna cry here.
Yeah. I take a nap. I take a nap while here. Taking me over. No, for real. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so sorry, that was a tangent again.
It's okay. How do you deal with stress or with anxiety when things get really overwhelming?
I unload to Thomas. Usually no, honestly though, it's like I have like my safe people. So like Thomas, sometimes I'll text you if I'm like don't want to, like if I know you won't be bothered by it. Mom and dad, like my client, obviously, if it's something with work that's stressing me out. But I have to like talk it through with somebody else, because I know a lot of the times if I'm like stressed or anxious, or like if I feel like I'm not thinking clearly, or like if my emotions are clouding my judgment, I have to talk it through with like a third party to like tell me like either like, A, you're not crazy, like just like feel it is stressful, it is what it is. 2, they'll tell me like, yes, it's crazy, but here's some options that you can do to like make it not as stressful. Or 3, they'll just hear me out, and then I feel better after releasing it.
Yeah.
And I think for you, it's kind of funny because whenever you have come to me when you're feeling like stressed or whatever, for me, I think we had talked about this before. I always go into like troubleshooting mode. Like I want to troubleshoot it and fix it. But a lot of the times I've learned with you is like, you just want somebody to just listen and not necessarily like solve anything. Just like, so for me, I like the solving, like, okay, let's do A, B, and C. And I think that has to do more with like just how my brain works.
I feel like that's maybe for a lot of people, that's how people's the first reaction that people have, because if like someone's coming to them with a problem solving is like the easiest thing to do, right? Or finding a solution, or trying to cheer them
it's
up.
Either for me, it's either solve the problem or like tell me I'm not crazy, and that like validate my feelings for me.
Yeah.
I don't ever want somebody just to listen and not tell me anything, though.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing. When I've had people like, if I'm talking to Bran or talking to other friends, or even coworkers, and they're coming to me with like their problem, stress or whatever, like the first thing I've learned to do now, like I normally am the same as you, where I'm just like, I'm gonna come up with a solution. I have to consciously tell myself to ask the question. I'm like, ask them the question, like, okay, I'm here for you. Would you like me to talk with you about this, or would you just like me to listen, sort of thing? Because I feel like with you and I, or the people that we're close with, like we want that validation, or we just want to have a conversation and vent with each other back and forth. But some people, they just need to let it out,
word vomit out.
Yeah. And like they don't want me to say like, oh well, this or this, and maybe give a different perspective, or they don't want any of that. They just want to word vomit and then let it be. I feel better, sort of thing. And I've had to it's really hard, because again, it goes against my initial reaction to try to problem solve or figure out, different things. But I think that's something that I've learned to do is just ask, like, okay, like, let them know, like, all right, like, whatever you want me to do, I'm here to do it. I just want to make sure I'm not going to cross a boundary, because I've often found myself feeling guilty by giving like an opinion or a solution when maybe it was uncalled for or not asked for. And
I think I always feel bad because I always play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And people don't like that.
Yeah. And I mean, there's value to it, but the person has to be.
I don't like it when people do that to me either. I'm like, no, be mad with me.
Yeah, the person has to be receptive to it if that's what you know what I mean? So like that's why I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to just be mad with you? Or do you want me to talk with you, or do you want me to just listen? It doesn't always work out that way, but like it's something that I've tried my best to do. I don't know, for me though, I'm with you. Like sometimes I just want someone to be like, you're not crazy. Like I get it. And I think I do that to you a lot.
Yeah. And I'm always devil's advocate. Yeah. But
yeah. You are. But then there's also times where you're just like, this. Your sister comes out.
Yep.
And you start talking with it. But I don't know. When I'm stressed, or I often get very, very anxious. Like I'll get like almost triggered with like anxiety sometimes. It could be really dumb, but I think it's interesting to hear that like you, like, the first thing you do is like talk to people. And I definitely have my circle as well, you, Toph, Mom, Dad, Bran, like all my other friends too, or if whoever I'm speaking to. But I've learned also to be careful who I talk to, because I do word vomit a lot. And when I'm stressed, like it doesn't always come out the best way, or like I don't know, but when it's coming back, when it's hard or overwhelming, or when I get really anxious, I often like shut down. And I know I shouldn't, but like I get really in my head about things. I'm almost overly cautious of what's happening around me, and I literally turn into the opposite of myself, and I just like I don't have any words. I just like sit there in silence, which is pretty rare.
But yeah, like I said, you feel your feelings to a detriment. Like I know your tics already, and I'm like, it irritates me when you start doing them, because I'm like, stop. Like you're like, oh, you're already gonna start the cycle of like overreacting to stuff, and then you get mad when somebody tells you you're overreacting. You're like, that's when you get irritated. I know, because I always tell you like, relax. Yeah, I always tell you that, relax.
I feel like I don't ever want to be told that I'm overreacting, because I'm scared that I'm overreacting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's so annoying because I hate it when you do that. I do. And she starts picking her nail. She starts picking her nails. That's the first thing. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. She's already getting irritated about something she shouldn't be getting irritated or anxious about. I'm just like, oh, I need to get out of here.
I pick my nails a lot, and like it's
she does it like that with her. That's when she starts getting annoyed or anxious about something. That's her first sign. That's the first sign, y'all. She's doing it right now because I'm talking about her.
I am. It's so bad. Like Brandon Toff, they always like.
And another one she does is she'll start flipping her hair a little.
I don't even know that one.
You do. When you start getting mad, you start flipping your hair. And then you start.
I feel like I know the nail one. I don't know that I do the hair thing. That's weird.
When you start getting mad, or annoyed, you start flipping your hair.
Oh, I feel like it's like I'm already frustrated at that point.
Is that what
when I'm just like,
yes. It's
almost like,
but if she's not
like Violet Bolivar or whatever her name is, where I have to put my hair out of my face.
Well, she's doing that to focus, to make a contraption.
You're right.
Not because she's angry.
Oh, I understand respect. It now. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Well, do you?
Do I have any telltale signs? Can you tell when I'm getting irritated or anything? You always say that when you're texting me, I'm rolling my eyes, but I'm like, I'm always rolling my eyes, or like when I'm thinking, like I even roll my eyes.
I feel like with you, at least for me, maybe Thomas can see a different side of it because he's your husband, or like mom and dad see it more because they're around you more, or even your kids. But like, I think with you and me, like I can tell off of your words or how you're speaking. Does that make sense? Even the tone of your voice.
Oh, my emotions by how I'm talking.
Yeah. Like I feel, and it's not necessarily always accurate or like the most reliable even, but I think I just know when you're angry. Like I just know when you're feeling overwhelmed or like frustrated, maybe the most, because again I was always on the receiving end of that frustration. Or like even maybe to the point where you're like gonna cry frustrated. I feel like I can catch on to that pretty quickly.
I hardly ever cry. That's why I'm like,
No, okay. Well, like here's your tells that I know of. Your voice changes octave. So like when you get mad, obviously your voice comes up a little bit higher. I don't know, like just figure it out. Like
I get loud when I'm getting mad. Yeah.
You get loud, but then your voice goes up a little bit. You do like sometimes because like you just don't have words, so you're just like, or like the sigh.
Literally, yeah.
That's what it is.
That
No, it's not even that. That's like when you're like, it's funny to you that you're frustrated, but like when you're frustrated and it's like game over almost, like your voice will go up, and a lot of your answers are, I don't know, figure it out, I don't know.
See what you see a trend. It's always because they're asking me about something. They think I'm a walking Google, and I literally don't know. Mom and dad text me. What's up, mom? You're listening. Mom texted me the other day. She says they changed our plane seat to. She gave me the seat number. What does that mean? Where are we sitting? I'm like, I don't have all the Boeing seat sections in my head. Like, how am I don't know.
Did you have to look it up?
I googled it and figured it out for them.
Are they near? Sorry. Like, side note, are they near the the window or are they in the middle?
Yeah, so they were in AB before, and now they're in like JK on the opposite side. So, but they moved up. So whatever. Anyways, it's just like they always ask me these. It's just these questions that I know they can Google.
For the listeners that were just listening, please rewind like 15 seconds while she's talking about this. Her voice went up and off.
Oh, it's so annoying. I'm like, just Google it. And then I've told them this before too. I said, you could just Google it. And they're like, but why when we have you? And when I had moved down south, they never struggled with like figuring things out. But the second I moved back, they got lazy. They want me for everything.
And it wasn't even that like when you moved away, I could help them. It was just that they just didn't.
They figured it out. Yeah, or they didn't do it.
Yep.
I don't know, man.
To you. No, but
Thomas, what are my signs that I'm getting emotional or irritated or sad or whatever? Do I have any signs?
That face you have right now.
The face I have right now, he said.
Are you okay? Bevin, are you okay? Really? How are you feeling?
He's the one that sees it the most. That's why I'm asking him.
Ask him if your voice changes octaves.
My sister wants to know, does my voice change octaves when I'm feeling emotional? He's coming. He's walking slowly.
He's going to go, yes.
When she's getting emotional or already in the act of being emotional, she does go up an octave.
Yeah.
When she's being emotional and quiet, her face shows it. Her face does show it. Not right now, it doesn't, but she has a look on her face like,
it's more than a straight face.
Kill me, please.
Yeah. Get out of there. It's almost like you're it's almost like you're getting overloaded with emotions or feelings.
Yeah,
like,
overloaded. Yeah, just
you're like sitting there almost like trying to like not let it be, but you're just like, it's happening and I don't know what to do with myself.
It's funny. That's funny that's how I process it. And I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I think my overlaying yours is like overwhelm. Mine is like frustration.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well,
that's what puts me over the edge is being frustrated.
So, given that you're a parent, when you're frustrated or mad or like really annoyed with your kids, is there anything that they can do that immediately takes you out of that like mad or frustrated mindset? Like,
okay, I'm trying to think. Lincoln is really good at it when I'm getting mad or whatever. He like gets a like real sad face that like if I like raise my voice at him or something, he'll get that real sad face and he's like just and he'll want cuddles right away. But I mean he's at that cute stage right now, you know? It's tougher for the older two. It's tougher for the older two, especially the oldest one. I feel bad. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Joey always makes fun of me because I'm like, maybe I should say it, and I end up saying it anyways. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. He's at this stage right now where he will like be combative and like talk back to us. So if we're saying like, you shouldn't do that for whatever reason, or like you should do that for whatever reason, it's always, and if he doesn't agree with us, it's always, I don't get it, or that's so dumb, or oh, you're being so dumb. Like he hasn't really said like you're being so dumb, but dumb. That's so dumb. Yeah. Which implies, and I almost like lost it with him the other day because I was telling Thomas it's because he's calling me dumb, and don't call me dumb because I'm not dumb.
He'd be like, don't be out here insulting my knowledge child.
So that was a trigger for me. I mean, it doesn't really go in what you asked me, but like I have to like step back and be like, maybe that's what it is like a self-check. Being like, I remember how it was when I was a teenager and I thought my parents were being dumb. Like that's fine. You can think I'm dumb. It's fine. Like you still live under our house. Like it doesn't change anything. So maybe it's more of like a self-reflection that takes me out of it. Like, yeah, I'll get frustrated or lose my patience sometimes with them, but like I always like have to think like they're at an age where things don't make sense to them, so they get frustrated. It's not fair for me to just be like, why don't you get it, when I have 30 years on them already. Yeah. So it's like, it's more of like a self-check of for the older ones. Not saying that they're not cute, but the little one, like he's cute right now, so like he just is and like you're like, oh, okay.
I feel like Ollie also does, like, he has that charm, like he has the cute charm. Like if you're mad at him and he just looks at you, like he doesn't have to say anything, he'll just go.
For you maybe, but our middle kid, he's a whiner and he's lazy, so if he doesn't want to do something, he'll just start crying. Not because he can't not because he can't do it. It's because he doesn't want to do it and he's lazy and he wants somebody else to do it for him. So like for example, he
it's roaster kids hour out here.
He sometimes will like not want to like make himself cereal or something that we know that he can do. And he will sometimes be like, I just can't do it. I'm like, you can do it. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not cute to me when he's crying because I know like you're just faking. However, there's sometimes when he's frustrated and then I feel bad because I'm like, okay, yeah, he really doesn't
feels
understand.
Frustrated.
Yeah. And he really feels frustrated. And then
I think unfortunately, because he's like middle child, like you're gonna assume one or the other. Either he's too smart and he should figure it out by himself, or he's too young and he doesn't know anything at all. But like at the same time, it's like he's in the middle of that. Like he is smart and he can figure out himself, but maybe like it's just not there. Yeah.
The thing about Oliver is he is 99% of the time honest. So I can appreciate that about him, but also like it gets him into a lot of trouble too at the same time.
I just wanted to because Mama said that we kid. Like,
and it's hard. It's hard. And okay, one thing that makes me feel bad with Ollie is the oldest sometimes will not give him enough grace that he should, and so Oliver gets the blame for like if they lose a game or something, and then I'll feel bad because Ollie's crying, but I'm like, yeah, it might have been his fault, but also like be nicer. Be nice.
He's just a baby.
He's sensitive. He's just a baby. Yeah.
I think it's funny.
The oldest one, I don't know. The oldest one right now, it's more of me having to put myself in his shoes and be like, okay, like I get it.
Oh, I keep
or
forgetting
like
that. He's like old.
Okay, I will say he gets to my oldest one. I was whispering right now because he was walking by. He is a child that he's like you. He'll get in his feels and overwhelmed to the point that it like makes him like sick to his stomach about certain things.
Like physically ill.
I hate seeing him feel insecure because he's unprepared. Where he's like me, he wants to be prepared for something. So he just got 4 teeth pulled out. And it was his first experience getting teeth pulled out at the dentist because long story short, his teeth are messed up. His baby ones weren't coming in, so they had to, or his older ones weren't coming in because the baby teeth weren't falling out. So they had to take the baby teeth out. Anyways, he was so anxious about getting it done, and it made me so anxious. I just wish I could like and I could see it. He's like somebody you can see it that he's worried, and you just like want to take that from him. But
yeah,
such is life.
When we went to Hawaii, like my heart just absolutely broke when like he was having the issues with his eyes.
He didn't let it stop him from having a good time though. But yeah, he
didn't. But like my heart was like, my poor little baby boy. Like,
yeah, no, yeah, I felt for him because I literally have been there, like the same exact issue with my eyes when I was around that age. So I get it. Just is what it is. But it's so dumb.
That's what Ollie would say.
It's so dumb.
What's the weirdest but most effective way to cheer you up when you're feeling down? Do you have anything? Is it your kids?
The weirdest? Thomas, what's the weirdest but most effective way to cheer me up when I'm feeling down? He's coming.
The slow walk. It's the slow walk for me. He's taking his time, folks.
He's laughing. He's smiling. I don't know. He has something in mind.
Is this appropriate?
So stupid. So
tell him what I said. Tell him what I said.
He said, "She's all. Is this appropriate?"
It's really like ice cream treats or something, like a root beer float or cappuccino blast or something.
Oh,
that's kind of like a. Oh, you just get me, don't you?
Also, sometimes he'll know, like, if I'm really, really, honestly, when I'm really, really feeling like stressed or like overwhelmed with something, like, and he can tell, like, if he like just takes a day so I can have a mental day. That's like my love language too. He just takes a day for me because I remember when COVID hit and I was like, I had my work and then the kids are home from school and I was pregnant.
You were.
Gosh. I was for a minute there. I was like, I need a day. And so he took a day off of work and he would just like go in the room and relax.
Shout out
I remember
Thomas.
I was like, thank you. I needed that. I needed that. Yeah. Take a mental day for your significant other. What about you?
Weirdest thing?
Foods, ramen, bobas.
I like food. Sometimes, I had a really like not bad day, but like I know I was feeling like the same day that I wrote all this stuff out. I was like in my emotions, and I was like, I want boba, and I made it a point to be like, I'm going to get boba. But later in the day, I got even more emotional, and I was like, never mind, I don't want boba. Like, I'm not gonna get it. Like, I almost punished myself.
I don't deserve it.
Yeah. Weird things that cheer me up. I mean, yeah, food probably. But also I think
you like being surprised.
Yeah,
by like a loved one.
Yeah, I think like
gifts.
No, not necessarily
birthdays.
Not necessarily gifts, but I think that like
Spoiling you.
Can you not? You're gonna make me emotion, taking me over.
She likes to get spoiled, everybody. She wants to feel like a princess.
I do like getting spoiled, but in this regard, I think I just want to know that, like, whatever it will be, either like a word of affirmation if someone surprises me with something, or if it's just food, like, I just want to know that someone is caring, you know?
She wants to be spoiled.
I like being spoiled.
Mm-hmm. See? That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to be doted on.
I don't know if doted on is the word, but I mean, like I said, I just want to know someone is there, if that makes sense. And that's pretty effective way of cheering me up when I'm feeling down. Or boba. I mean, like, you know, can't go wrong. Wintermelon milk tea from T4, just in case anyone's wondering. 80% sweetness, like boba. Thank you. You're feeling generous.
Is it fine to wash in your bedroom?
Not yet, buddy. I'm almost done.
Is it fine to watch in your bedroom? Okay, so just a couple more questions then.
Okay.
Are there any things that's random that brings you unexpected joy? If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're frustrated, if you're fine, if you're bored, are there just literally the most random things? And I'll give you some examples. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, but I have like a running list of things that bring me joy. And the one that I wrote down on the top, the very first one is stepping on crunchy leaves.
I really love, so nerdy. I really love it when companies list out exactly what new features and bug fixes they've made on their patch notes. I love good patch notes, guys. None of this miscellaneous bug fixes and improvements. I need to know, what bugs did you squish? What improvements did you make? I need to know it. That makes me so happy when I see a company, especially like, obviously, like video game softwares, they do it all the time with their programs. They'll list out the new features because it's like wanting to keep their community engaged. Very rarely on the App Store an app lists their patch notes, and some do, and I appreciate that very, very much so.
I like that.
Yeah, I love it so much.
One that I wrote down in my list is the feeling of clocking out before vacation. Just, it feels so good. You know what I'm talking about? You don't clock in anymore, so maybe not. But
yeah, it's like,
or like do you like roller coasters?
Yeah, of course I do.
So like,
I like them more than you do.
The feeling of like either like stepping onto a roller coaster or right before the roller coaster is about to take off. Like, it's just
I hate it right before it takes off. But being at the front of the line and you're next in line, love that. Love it. The crunchy French fries, the ones that are just pure crunch.
What about like salt? the like the random curly fry, or the random like
tater tot?
Yeah.
Onion ring. Ooh, the onion ring. Ooh, yes, I love it. What else makes me happy? I had one and I lost it. I really like, honestly, I like it when I see that I have it like a Discord notification. Like somebody's wants to talk to me. Don't ping me, Discord community. I already know it. Jer, put your finger down. Don't.
To everyone watching Kuya Joey's stream, please
do not. No, it's like 6 a.m. over there. It's 6 a.m. here. They're watching it.
Ping the Discord. Do it. You know it.
Gosh, I feel like there's so many. Like, we could probably go on. Is this your last question?
No, I have a bunch more.
Okay, maybe we should keep going because I can keep going on and on with this.
I mean, I liked your answers, so I think that was pretty fair. If you could only feel one emotion for the entire day, what emotion would it be?
Peace.
Oh, that's a good one. I think the easy answer is to say happy, but I think my answer would be excited.
You are so chaotic. You just always want to be like this.
No, like, so the way that I think about it, and like I said in one of my previous questions, I was saying the feeling before going on vacation, like
you literally want to be like
the last day of work before you go on vacation. And like,
can you tell that we're opposites? She's like, I want to be excited. I'm just like, I just want to be like mellow.
There's times where I want to be peaceful too, but like I think when I'm excited or looking forward to something, it automatically makes me feel happy. Does that make sense? Because I'm looking forward to it.
That's how you are. It's so irritating. She always wants to be doing something. I'm like, can we just like chill for like a minute?
So
and she's like a little chihuahua.
One of my previous questions was, how do you express your emotions creatively? And my answer is high key, yes. But like I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like when I'm, she gets
hyperfixated.
Yeah, I get really,
and then she loses steam. Like,
yeah, I do. But I'm working on it. We're still here.
This podcast.
We're in season 2.
This podcast is literally only 11 episodes in season 1.
And one of them I wasn't even in.
Wait, so you said, what was the question?
If you could feel one emotion for an entire day, what would it be?
Yeah, she's excited. No, see, I couldn't. I just want to forever be just like at ease, like no worries, just at peaceful and just like zen. Oh my gosh, it scared me right now. Woo, scared me because I'm sitting one way. We have like a window kind of. I can see a reflection. And I just saw a reflection walking. It looked like it was in the backyard, but it was just Thomas. Thomas's reflection.
So a ghost.
Scared me. Don't like that emotion.
I hate being scared.
Oh, I have another a fearful story about being afraid.
Okay.
So at the retreat that we were at, Thomas, I haven't told you this story, so you can listen to it. Maybe I did. At the retreat that I went to, all the girls were like, "Oh, like I just feel like so safe with you, like you're a safe place." Like one of the girls was like, "If I had like raging diarrhea, like I know I could go to you and you wouldn't judge me, like you just handle it, you take care of it." I was like, "That's true." So they're like, everyone's like, "Yeah, like I feel like so safe and secure with you around. Like I'm so happy that you're like here staying at the house with us, whatever." The last night that we were there, Ashley was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call like an Uber. She's gonna Uber home." And she was like off doing something, like cleaning something up. And it was just like me and the girls in the living room. And we're just like, they're just talking to each other. I'm just kind of standing around, like observing, making sure everybody's good. And this man just like walks in the door. Like, I have no idea who this man is. And my first thought was like, maybe it's Ashley's Uber. Maybe it's Ashley's Uber. And it's funny because we had all talked about like how we like murder docs. So my head was like trying to process like, why is this random man walking inside the door? Like he didn't even like knock and wait for one of us to answer. He just like opened the door and came in.
Oh my gosh.
And so like one, like, why did you like, who is this? 2, is it Ashley's Uber? Why is he coming in the house? Why isn't he waiting in his car? 3, are we about to get murdered? Or like, who are you? Or like, are you the maintenance man that needs to like do something around the house? So all I did was the girls like all went quiet, and I was just like, "Hi." After all this talk about, oh, Bevin's gonna keep us safe or whatever, and I was like, I just froze. I was just like, "Hi." It was one of the girls' husbands that was there to pick her up, but it was like, I'm the type of person that in a flight or fight response, I just freeze.
Wait, what did the woman say? The
girl didn't say like my husband.
Yeah.
No, she didn't say anything, and he just came in, and then she was like, "Oh, it's my husband." After I said hi, after like 5 seconds of like awkwardness, "Oh, it's my husband" or whatever, and I was like,
Oh, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, he just let himself in. That's weird, right?
That's weird.
That is weird. Is that it? Is that like a AZ thing?
I don't know. Maybe it's no, Thomas is white, so he said it's weird, so I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. He could have been a murderer and I would have greeted him.
Okay, so that actually is another question then. In a group of people or in a group of friends, what role do you play? Obviously not mother.
You know what? It's funny. I really don't know because I don't have like tons of friends. If I were to go based off of like my previous, like, well, I'm still friends with them. I just don't hang out with them. In high school, I was like the like goofy, just like always like making jokes kind of thing. Or if it was like a serious moment, it was like giving advice, like trying to solve a problem kind of thing. I don't know though, honestly. You're the one that's always trying to plan events.
Yeah, I was literally thinking because so
literally
a lot of my coworkers laugh at me because the first thing I did when I got to my job that I am now, remember, I was working from home all by myself for 2 years. Like one of the first things I did is like I went to all the girls that were around or like the same age as me or like in a specific position at work, and I was just like, oh, like if you guys ever want to hang out, like just let me know. And it's not that like I have no friends or I'm not like, okay, I'm just social. So
this makes me so anxious.
No, but I literally, and then
because it's so you and I hate it so much.
They were like, yeah, wait, let me give you my phone number. So if you guys go out, then you can, call me and let me know. Literally, I had a spreadsheet of all of the girls from work. And then we decided we were gonna go out, and we went out to Olive Garden.
She had a spreadsheet. What a creep!
It was a spreadsheet with their first names and their job titles, their cell phone numbers, and their phone extensions at work, so that I could call them. It was also a way of me getting to know who people were, because I think at the time also, not that I was like socially awkward, but like,
you're getting to know who people were by creating spreadsheets with all of their personal information.
No, I mean, they gave me all the information, so like it's not like weird.
You asked them, what is your name?
No, I was like, hi,
what
nice
is
to
your
meet you. All the information that I received was like, oh, here's my phone number, like call me if you guys hang out. I'm like, okay, sure. Like I'll call you guys or I'll text you guys. Put your glasses back on.
I will say this. Joey is a lot like you. We keep bringing Joey up because he's my most recent friend that gets me. But he's a lot like you where he's always like, when are we going to play video games next? Or like start up your PC and so we can play video games. So he's like that, where like he's always trying to plan like,
yeah.
Or like he's like, when are we going to meet up? Come run a marathon with me. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, my coworkers, they've referred to me as mother, because when we do go out, like they're like, oh man, does anyone have like gum, or does anyone have this or that? And I'm always like, oh yeah, I have that. It's in my car. Don't worry, I'll get it. So like,
I think that's different. I think it's different. Maybe it's different when you're around your friends and when you're around like your immediate family, because you're not the mother when you're around us. You are the one that like you want everything done for you. You the baby.
I the baby.
Like there has to be no way is she gonna go out of her way to like take care of any of us. Like,
first of all, let's not go there, because I literally nested for you.
I'm not saying about your nephews. I'm talking about when you're with me, Thomas, mom, and dad.
Mom and dad are different.
She's a baby. She wants to get spoiled.
I'm their baby. So like, duh, that makes sense. You and Thomas, like, I know you guys, you are fine functioning on your own, but Lord knows you want something, and then you're like, Jasmine, go get it. And I'm just like, or go make this for me. And don't tell me that I don't take care of Thomas either, because I'm making chicken Alfredo pizza when I come home. Without asking, I just do it. And your salmon and all the other things.
And
but
how
yeah,
often do you come home?
Enough.
Whenever she feels like it.
I could not when I feel like if I came over. or
Whenever
came
she
home,
wants something. Mom, can we go
No.
to Costco's?
No.
Mom, can we go to Target?
Shout out to mom.
Can we go?
Shout out to my mom because every time I come home, she's like, I went to Costco and I got you some more shirt. It's in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, mom.
Anyways, next question.
Um,
I'm getting irritated just thinking about how spoiled she is.
no, I am very spoiled, but I also love to spoil other people.
Except us.
I spoil you. Let's not even go there. Emotions.
She thinks spoiling me means she thinks spoiling my kids means spoiling me. That is
No.
not. Mm-mm.
No. Whenever you ask,
She's gonna
for
say,
food,
"I threw you a birthday party." That's the one thing.
No. Okay. I did throw you a birthday party. Okay. That is one thing. But literally, I'm like, don't worry. I'll DoorDash it for us. Don't worry. I'll make it for you. I'll go get it. Especially when I was working for you. I was like, I'll go pick up the coffee. I'll do this. Blah, 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 blah.
I was your
Let's not
boss. So that was a given.
That was not in my job description. That was not my job description at all.
No, she is little things. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. And I love to plan a good party. So that party was really
But
good.
she's so spoiled.
I found that video the other day, by the way, of like all of the people that couldn't make it to your party. Like they sent the videos. Do you remember that? Good times.
Oh yeah. I do.
Remember Armana singing Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah. Love her.
Love her. So I only have some rapid fire questions now, and these are kind of random. So
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the question, and then
I thought these were rapid fire.
No, these are part of the things. I told you I went off.
Well.
I was feeling it.
What is one feeling?
No.
That's a rapid fire question, Jasmine.
Well, I was hoping that we were gonna have more conversation about it, but it's fine. Rapid fire questions. I'm gonna ask the question. You give the answer,
Okay.
and then I'll give my answer, and then I'll move on to the next question. Sound good?
Okay. No explaining,
go.
just answer. Got it.
Okay. I'm gonna skip the first one. How do you hype yourself up for a big event?
I'm not very exciting. I'm like, listen to Taylor Swift or read a book.
Valid. I think I listen to music also. I think I get really excited and hyped when I listen to music. Next question. When is the last time that you were very, very proud of yourself?
After the retreat, being social. I'm not usually like that, so yeah, I was proud of myself for doing that, handling that like a boss.
I was last proud of myself when I created a like magazine cover for work for one of our technicians that got promoted to master tech. It was a really cool one.
Very
Next
nice,
question.
very nice.
Books or podcasts?
Books right now.
Oof.
I haven't listened to a podcast in so long.
I think I like books more, but I want to be a podcast girly. I just can't do it all the time. Next question.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream topping?
Rainbow sprinkles.
I like bananas. Is that topping?
It's a good one. That's a good answer. Yeah, it's topping. I mean, I thought more like the candy toppings, like not like additional add-ons.
I think rainbow sprinkles would be my answer if that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Favorite childhood cartoon?
Arthur.
I was about to say Arthur as well. I spent a lot of time watching
and
Arthur.
I feel like I would have liked more. I feel like I would have liked more cartoons, but we always caught Arthur for some reason.
Because it was after homework, after school, and we had the TV. No one was watching TV at the time.
Yeah. I really liked Recess School's Out. But I feel like we only very rarely caught that one before school.
Yeah. And then we had to watch stuff on Saturday mornings because we didn't have cable.
Yeah.
Current favorite app on your phone? Or most used, I'll take that as well.
I'm looking right now. I mean, my most recently downloaded is the Poop app.
That's nice.
But other than that, Discord or YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube
Discord
is
probably.
mine.
Discord probably.
YouTube is mine. I think it's just because like I consume the most content on there.
Yeah, Discord's probably for me just because it's like friends,
Mm-hmm.
pictures. Like it's the new social media, honestly.
Last two. Embarrassing things that have made you cry.
Not being able to weigh my food on a scale.
Oh man, I don't even know if I have an answer for this one. Embarrassing thing that makes me cry. I think it's embarrassing when like I get frustrated at work.
You cry at work?
Yeah, I cry in the bathroom a lot. But I think it's usually because I'm like about to start my period or like I'm just emotional.
Next question.
This is the last question. Do you have a happy dance?
No.
No?
I guess just like I don't dance.
I think my happy dance comes out when I'm like eating food and I'm really after like being hangry, I'm like like a real quick side to side and I'm like that's my happy dance.
I don't dance. That was a question just for Jasmine.
No, I thought you had a happy dance.
When have you ever seen me do it?
When you happy dance, your shoulders come up. No? You happy dance? You go
I can't answer that question because I don't do it like I don't do it. What is it called? Like I'm not consciously doing it if I am doing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that I'll have to catch that on your next happy dance. We'll see if she does it on stream. Joey, clip it if it ever happens.
Yeah, I don't think it happens. I think it
does.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
And that's all we have today, folks. I don't think it
Any
does.
final thoughts?
No, I mean,
that was a good one. Good job.
Thanks. It's just emotion taking me over. We'll see you later. That was so awful. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode. It has been the Sispatch with
Bevin
and Jasmine. Bye.
Bye.